Welcome to the final episode of the Modern Moron for 2019. Gotcha. We finished the year by finishing our conversation with the senator recorded just before Christmas. The senator thinks there should be a statute of limitations for tweets and public statements which a public figure can be held accountable for. Sound like bullshit? Me too. We discussed the origin of the word chick as slang for a woman. He tries to tell me again that I am high maintenance, yet he doesn't want to be held accountable for his text to me that I am, quote, worse than any chick on the planet. Very nice. I bring up the interview I did with the senator's daughter and her recent tattoos and the talk he is going to have with her when she comes home from college. Somehow this leads to a discussion about the environment. Our lack of knowledge on the subject fulfills our once per episode obligation to justify the name of the show. We have no clue about anything remotely specific about environmentally hazardous materials that are being produced by different countries, and we prove it. Unfortunately, this turns into a conversation about Time Magazine's Person of the Year, Gretta Thunberg. In fact, I go into full OK Boomer Moron mode in a rant about Gretta. I've listened to it way more than you ever will, debating on whether or not I should leave it in the episode, because I'm not kind towards Gretta.
I do not want to believe that.
She's just a kid, and I'll bet she never expected to get this much attention, and now she's literally the poster child for environmental action. Her latest poster is the cover of Time Magazine. I feel like some people are going to be so disturbed and disgusted with my rant that they won't ever listen again. Should I have taken it out? Interesting question. If I start second-guessing about the content of this tiny podcast and try to please who I think might be a target audience or leave out content because I don't want to alienate anyone, this show or whatever it can be will become complete milquetoast and it won't have any value, not even to myself. It kind of goes back to that old saying, you can please some people all the time and all the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all of the time. I can't please everyone and I shouldn't try. But I shouldn't be shocking just for the shock value either, and what's shocking or crude to someone is entertainment to someone else. See the inner turmoil I'm constantly living with?
Boring.
And then I see a photo of Gretta with her family, her little sister, her mother and father, her father. And I think, if some jackwagon like me went off on my daughter like that, I'd want to beat his ass. Okay, good. So for the most part, it is an unpopular position to say that I am not really a fan of Gretta, even though I agree with much of her viewpoint. I would have much preferred to have Andrew Cooper and Alex Schulz as Time Magazine's Person of the Year. They founded the company 4Ocean, that's the number 4Ocean, which is cleaning up our oceans and rivers. Andrew and Alex were college grads who took a postgraduate vacation to Bali to do some surfing and found beaches with more garbage than sand. So they started the 4Ocean project and are now making an impact. Or how about Boyan Slat? I've mentioned him on this program before. He's a 25-year-old Dutch inventor and entrepreneur who creates technological solutions to global problems. He's the founder and CEO of the Ocean Cleanup. On September 8th of 2018, the world's first ocean cleanup system was launched from San Francisco, followed by deployment inside the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I think my issue isn't with Greta Thunberg. I think my issue is with Time Magazine. I don't think Time Magazine's goal is to truly find someone who has made the greatest impact on our society, or more accurately, on our planet. I think Time Magazine's goal is to sell magazines.
Sell more magazines.
They took someone who had received a lot of clicks, likes, and views and funneled them to Time Magazine. If Time is truly interested in journalism, why didn't they make us more aware of the causes of Boyan Slat or the founders of the 4Ocean Project or any of the thousands of scientists and philanthropists who are making change through action? I'll bet Time Magazine has a well-phrased response that justifies their choice, and it will be unwritten that it includes selling more magazines.
Even more magazines.
Speaking of hypocrites, because after all, aren't I just complaining about a complainer? We join my conversation with the senator as we discuss how there should be a law or statute of limitations on the responsibility a person must be accountable regarding their tweets and other public statements. Isn't that the perfect topic for this show?
I think we should come up with a rule. I don't know what you think of this. A rule in our society that there are time limits, or there's
Statute of limitations.
Thank you. When you text. So let's say I text something 30 years ago. Well, we weren't texting 30 years ago. Say 20 years ago.
Okay.
And you pull it up. Should I still be held to those standards from 20 years ago to today?
You know who that makes me think of is Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars, and didn't some people go back and said, "Oh, he tweeted some homophobic or something." He tweeted out something that was offensive to some group, and he ended up not hosting the Oscars. That's what that made me think of. The statute of limitations thing. I bet he would agree with you.
How far do you go back? I mean, do you
I don't
grow?
know.
Do you mature?
How far would you like to go back? 30 seconds? I can't be held responsible for anything I have said or tweeted 30 seconds after I've said it or tweeted it.
For you, because I know you're a misogynist, I'm just trying to look. You are high maintenance, bro, and I don't want to equate you to women or man. Or you're high maintenance. You are out of control. Serious, bro. It's like I was gone for a half a freaking hour, man. A half an hour, and you went freaking berserk. You went berserk.
I am just going to read this text. You are the most high maintenance motherfucker I know. There is not a chick in the world that could outdo you.
Male chauvinist.
That's a compliment to the chicks.
Pig.
It really is. Because you're worse than all the chicks. So that doesn't make them that bad.
Okay. And how do you think women like being referred to as chicks?
Well, that's what we say in England. They're chicks. That's a compliment.
Where did the term chick come from to refer to women?
Oh, I didn't say I meant cheeky. I meant cheeky. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you can say that, but nobody believes you.
Okay. No, you know what? Everybody's going to believe me except for you. Yeah, I meant cheeky.
Oh, great. Fine. Liar. Okay, I went to Quora. Where does the word chick in referring to a female originate from? The short answer boils down to these. Shakespeare in 1611.
Oh, Shakespeare.
Why do you get all excited about that? Does that suddenly make you seem intelligent?
Great
I was
writer
referring to
ever.
a Shakespearean quote. An
Yes,
American.
of course.
There's your just
Yes.
bullet points. Shakespeare in 1611, an American cartoonist in 1910, the Spanish word chica, a continuation of the British slang bird, a Canadian novelist in 1917, Pinocchio's creator in 1881 to 1883, or Charles Dickens in 1853. Shakespeare in 1611. The earliest use of chick as a term of endearment for a young girl was in 1611 by Shakespeare in The Tempest.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Can you say that one more time? Terms of what?
Endearment for a young girl in 1611 by Shakespeare in The Tempest. Act 5, Scene 1. My Ariel, chick that is thy charge.
I remember that
A
scene.
lie keeps growing and
do you?
growing until it's as plain as the nose on your face.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Was that The Taming of the Shrew?
I'm stupid.
I just said it was The Tempest. Okay.
Oh, it was The Tempest. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I just wanted. I don't get to throw in The Taming of the Shrew very often. So yes.
Okay. So it was a term of endearment in 1611. Is it a term of endearment? I don't think it is. Hey, let's go get some chicks.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Use it in context today. It's not
Yeah, that
particularly
doesn't sound good.
respectful or endearing, is it? This is my chick.
What about in England? They all say bird. She's a cute bird. B-I-R-D. Like Blackbird. You know, Paul McCartney's song Blackbird's about the civil rights struggle.
Okay, bird, British slang, a young, attractive woman. The age-old British slang bird means the same as the slang chick. This is ultimately from
Oh, the senator is right again.
This is ultimately from Old English BRIDD, brid, young bird, chick of uncertain origin. So presumably,
You're welcome.
bird became chick through natural interpretive association. This could have been one way for Shakespeare to have come up with chick.
You're welcome.
This
You're
from
welcome.
Old-
Bazinga!
What are you claiming credit for? You are so much like Donald Trump. Do you know that?
It's not a derogatory term. I've just proved it, and so did Shakespeare.
I am
Okay.
the king!
Do you want me to let you go back to your life?
I just took another drink of my Manhattan. It's almost empty. I'm ready for another.
Okay. I'll let you go. Thank you. We'll see.
What? I still want to talk to you, bro. When I get going, I'm going, man. Let's go. We haven't talked about sports. We haven't talked about, I talked about breaking my arm, my wrist. The holidays. We got Hanukkah coming up. We have Christmas coming up.
Hey, has your daughter come home from college yet?
Thursday. She'll be here on Thursday. I can't wait to see her.
Here's the reason why I ask, and we can talk about this or not talk about
Well, I got a lot to talk about.
You need to have a little chat with her about the tattoo situation.
That is bingo.
Yeah, because when I talked to her...
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, bingo was his name. Yes, that is it.
How's that going to go down?
Okay, you're 19. You promised, you made a commitment to me that the tattoos you were going to get were going to be discreet.
I thought you promised me that you were going to let me look at the car before you bought it.
That's fine. They mean a lot to you. I understand that. You're emotional. You have these things. Great. I support that. Put them where they can't be seen. Okay? Not on your fingers. Because unless you're wearing gloves all the time, like Queen Victoria, you can see those. And number two is the money that you're spending on these tats could go towards groceries.
They're expensive.
Could go towards the enormous, over-the-top, obscene amount of money that we're paying for your tuition. Which I love you very much, and it's worth every penny. But I need a little help here. And getting tats is not helping.
Whatevs, Boomer.
Specifically on your fingers.
Very much so. Thank you. When you promised me you weren't going to get them to where people could see them.
Well, you said discreet. And when you said discreet, that's a word that can be interpreted differently.
Okay. How about when you sit down to an interview at a publishing house in New York City and they look at you, they can't see any tattoos. Okay? That means discreet.
Yeah, discreet.
Okay.
Period.
All right. And how do you think that's going to be received?
Well, according to some of the millennials, this is totally acceptable. This is the way the world is. It's like, you can wear jeans now on Friday. Okay? It's dress down Friday. This is where we're at. And that's fine. Okay? If that's where we're going, then I'm wrong and everybody else is right. And I'll accept that. But I don't think that's where we're going.
You're putting me to sleep.
Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm caught. Old man, I'm caught, right? We're stupid.
Mm-hmm. We're old boomers.
We're okay boomers. Okay?
Mm-hmm. We are leaving the workforce and she is coming into the workforce.
And maybe that's the way it's going to be. Okay.
Now, her generation also is going to have to deal with, the gig economy.
And they're going to have to deal with the meltdown of the entire earth from climate change. So take that. I hope your tattoos work out real well when the whole freaking planet melts.
Well, oh, God, I don't want to go there, really. Do you agree that climate change is happening? You agree with that or don't agree with that?
I believe that climate change is happening. I'm not convinced that it is 100% the fault of humans and how we're conducting our lives.
So you don't think all the coal burning and all of the methane from cows that we're consuming and all of the internal combustion engines that are polluting are causing the climate change?
I don't know.
Moron.
I really don't know.
Does it seem...
We've had climate change 10,000 years ago when we had the mini ice age.
Mm-hmm. But I think the point of scientists is that the amount of time it takes for, the ice caps to melt as much as they have then took, 1,000 years. And now it's happening in 50 years or 100 years.
And that may very well be. Honestly, old man, that might be the case. You are 100% right. I don't know. This is the part what you just mentioned about the coal burning and the cars. And we all have to be on board. And China's never going to get on board. And there's going to be certain countries. India's never going to get on board. So let's say the United States get on board. We're just a fraction of what we're contributing to the destruction of our world, I guess.
I think we're number 3, aren't we?
China's got to be number 1. They got to be.
Well, we're the top 3. So that's a pretty
For what? Of
significant...
Emissions, carbon emissions or what? What are we the top 3?
Just emissions in general. If we're going to continue talking about that, as moronic as we are, we would have to do a little bit of research.
Yeah, I would love to know that. And I mean a legit number. I can't believe we're number 3. You got China, you got India, you have Russia, you have, other countries who are like, oh, they're horrible.
Climate change animation shows U.S. leading the world in carbon. This is Vox.com. Why the U.S. bears the most responsibility for climate change in one chart.
Yeah, I call BS on that. I really do.
Vox.com.
It's not that I'm not a denier. I think there is things that are changing in our environment, I don't buy that. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Carbon brief. And this was in 2003.
Have you looked at the citizens of Beijing when they're all wearing a freaking mask because the pollution is so bad? I mean, it's terrible.
That was April 2019. July 1, 2018. China emits more carbon dioxide than the U.S. and the EU combined. That's Forbes magazine. Wouldn't you say most scientists are saying, hey, we got to knock it off? Got to knock off the emissions. And also, how about the what is fart gas called?
Methane?
Methane emissions by country. Countries ranked by methane emissions. Wikipedia. Do you trust Wikipedia?
Nah, not really. Oh man, I don't trust any.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't. I'm not being flippant. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust Fox. I don't trust any of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just a scam. It's all about ratings. It's all about how much money I don't trust any of them, just like I don't trust any of the politicians. Zero of them on both sides.
What you going to do about it?
Ugh,
This
terrible.
is from 2012. Methane emissions, country ranking. Number 1, China. 1.7 billion, whatever, units of measure. The next is India, followed by Russia, followed by the United States, followed by Brazil. Those are the top 5.
Ugh.
That Manhattan kicking in on another level?
Yeah, it's blowing my brain because all of this is going on, and you got that little who's the gal there? I don't even
Gretta.
want to get into it.
Greta Thunberg.
No, I wanted to talk about her, and I'm about sick of her. And I know that's not a popular position, but
Greta Thunberg.
I don't think she should. Time Magazine shouldn't have made her Person of the Year. They should have made her whiner.
Oh,
How dare you?
and for Time to do that, are you kidding me, you guys? Come on. I mean, are you really serious? Are you a serious news magazine? But I guess that's what they want. They want a reaction.
You are not mature enough.
That's what this is all about. It's about getting people to talk about it.
She's an
You know?
activist.
Oh my
She's an
God.
activist, which actually goes against the thing we were talking about a couple of episodes ago with Barry Obama, that you agreed with him.
The world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids. One danger I see among young people, particularly on college campuses, and this is accelerated by social media, there is this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. That's not activism. That's not bringing about change. If all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far.
Can you think of some other people?
Yes, I can.
Are more qualified? And I'm not talking about politicians because they're
No, I would pick
pinheads.
a scientist. The scientist that has gotten the collection of the garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean. He's deployed an initial, I would make
You
him.
know, when we're long dead and gone, people are going to look back at this era. I mean, they're going to look back 100, 150 years from now and go, wow, we are in the midst
What
of
were
it.
those idiots
Should be
thinking?
it's pretty incredible if you think about it. Your daughter's going to be...
Well, that's what Greta Thunberg is. That's what she's complaining about. You are ruining the planet for my generation. Guess what, Greta? Every generation gets handed some good stuff and some bad stuff. And you do the best you can with what you get.
How dare you?
Are you using a washing machine to clean your clothes? Because the post-World War II generation gave you that. Or are you taking your clothes down to the river and beating them with a rock?
You have stolen my dreams.
Greta the Grouch.
Please stop bothering me. I'm sorting my trash
Greta
here.
the Grouch. Go see
Go
a
see a movie with your friends. I sound like a trumper.
There's no better word than stupid.
That's terrible. Boyan Slat. That is my Time Magazine Person of the Year. His name is Boyan Slat. He is awesome. Look him up. Find out the good he is doing cleaning up the oceans, taking the plastic and putting it back to use, not pounding a podium somewhere. You are ruining my generation. I should be in school. Yeah, you should be in school. Go back to school. Get a degree in science and change the world instead of complaining about it.
Yes. And then go see a movie. with
Yeah,
your
you know the
friends.
movie I want you to go see? An Inconvenient Truth by Spotted Al Gore.
This has been an extraordinary election.
Or how about Planet of the Apes?
I was thinking more of Soylent Green. That we could just wind up all the old people and get rid of.
Silent Green is people!
Do you see why you're so important to the show? That's why I fucking get upset.
Okay, I'm going to go have another cocktail. Dude, I love you so much. You know I do.
Yep, I am. I need help.
I love you.
I need.
It's so fucking crazy. Oh my God. Gretta the Grouch. Or you're as high maintenance as any chick I know.
That's why I can't live with him. And now I have to go out and apologize to my daughter for using so much foul language. And by the way, I sent her to her room. I got so pissed off at her. I sent her to her room recently.
Oh, geez.
Right. Yeah. Because this is what happened. We're playing Trouble, right?
Yeah.
Familiar with the game Trouble?
Yeah. I know.
Around. If I land on your man, your little character has to go back, right?
Right.
So like 3 moves in, I've gotten 2 6s and something else, and I'm doing great. She won the first game, and second game I've done the 3 6s, and first thing out of her mouth is, "No, you're going to win." I said, "Hey, you cannot have that attitude. You cannot get down and say, oh, if it doesn't go your way in 2 seconds, or if you can't figure something out immediately, you give up. You can't do that. You're going to end up being on the sideline all the time."
Oh, Jesus.
And then she said, "Yeah, okay." I said, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." "Okay. Don't take a tone. This is really important." She goes, "Okay." Like sarcastic. I said, "All right, go to your room." But I was agreed, go to your room. Go to your room. But I told her, I said, you can't be like that. You can't just, "Oh, you're going to win. I give up." You got to work at stuff.
Yeah.
Or else you're just going to end up quitting on everything.
Yes, I'm with you on that, Pops. I'm with you.
I know. It was hard. I went in like, "I apologize for yelling at you, but this is so important."
You know what? That's one of the hardest things, honestly, man, about being a parent is you don't want to, those are tough decisions, and you don't want your kid to hate you, but you also need to lay down the law, bro. You need to do it.
Yeah. It's more important for me to be your dad than for you to like me.
Then your friend. Yeah.
Same thing with me and any teacher. I used to get evaluations for my students. And it's like, you know what? Getting good evaluations top to bottom, if that's your goal, then maybe you're not going to be a good teacher. But
did you give a good evaluation to any of your students, the ones you wanted to sleep with? Did that ever happen?
No. That's doing a disservice to them.
Well,
just total disservice.
Yeah. Maybe long term.
And here I am, like a male version of an old maid. Maybe I should have wrote better evaluations for my attractive students.
I'll have you know that my lovely bride is super excited about buying the egg for you, that you can live on our property and be part of our family forever.
You're kidding me.
No, we talked about it today because remember we were talking about the egg.
She wants to buy one for me?
No, she just wants you. She wants to be able to put it.
You just said she wants to buy me one.
Well, okay, maybe I could talk to her about that. That might work out. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. She going to still be on the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Wow. Because I really want to hear the details about you guys staying married but living in separate states.
Creepy.
And don't think I'm not going to negotiate on your behalf. You know what I'm saying, bro?
You're going to have 2 homes. Huh? You're going to have one with my bride and one with me. You have 2 homes.
Who's going to have 2 homes?
You are. You're going to have 2 eggs in the backyard of our properties.
Okay. And I live with you half the year and with half the year?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I can't go down any further. It just makes no sense to me. But I'm going to try and negotiate on your behalf that, like, look, during the months, if he's not going to be with you for 6 months, he needs to get taken care of some way. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck with that. Okay. Let me know how that works out.
I will negotiate. I'm going to be on it like Rudy Giuliani.
It was like living in an alternate universe.
Okay, a couple of things.
It's Dress Down Friday.
Dress Down Friday? Is that a common term? I always thought it was called Casual Friday. Either way, hasn't that been around for more than a few minutes? I mean, didn't we adjust to that concept about 20 years ago? Come on, Senator. Also, if China is number one in terms of the pollutants they're spewing out into our environment, we're pretty busy buying all the products they're cranking out, which is causing the pollution. And yet the pollution isn't our fault. Doesn't that kind of make us codependents or enablers or something? You know what I'm talking about. Well, that's it for the Modern Moron in 2019. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has participated in this program. The writers, the producers, the technical staff, the guests, and especially thank you for helping to build this tremendous empire of ineptitude. And we will see you further into 2020. Thanks for listening.
Social change sometimes follows a pattern described by the late economist Rudy Dornbush. Things take longer to happen than you think they will, but then they happen much faster than you thought they could.